Welcome back to another edition of Between Two Fars. I'm Warnicki Miller, and I'm here with Bob Vogt. He is the Deputy Director of our Acquisition Integrity Program here at NASA. And you may be wondering what you need to do if your contract is under investigation. Perhaps you've gotten a call from an OIG agent, or somehow you've been told by the attorneys that something is being looked into on your contract. What's your responsibility? Bob, what do we do?
Yep, that is actually something we have NASA personnel asking us about all the time, and it really is important. There's a couple key things to remember here. Number one is that if there is an investigation going on involving one of the contractors that you're working with, where you may have documents, you may have emails, other physical documents, you could have Word documents, what have you, please preserve all of that, because, and certainly anything that would have to do with the issues under investigation, you're not always going to be aware of the issues under investigation. So please just preserve all the contract documents, but also, just as importantly, all the emails, any texts, anything like that. And the reason is that if we end up going to court in a civil or criminal case as a result of the fraud investigation, and we do not have the documents that we should have preserved, or we can't produce emails that we should have been able to be able to either produce during discovery or at trial, the agency will face sanctions, and it can be pretty severe sanctions.
Bob, what if I'm about to change jobs and leave the agency, or maybe retire? What do I need to think about then?
Yeah, and that, as we all know from any time, from having worked at NASA for any period of time, people switch positions. People leave NASA and go to other agencies or other companies to work. In that case, a lot of times your computer, if you have everything saved on your computer, gets wiped clean. And that can be a big problem for the government, for any kind of prosecution, and for the potential penalties that we would have to pay if we were found to have not maintained documentation that we were required to maintain. And so if you are retiring or leaving the agency, please either reach out to OIG or us, or your supervisor, to make sure that that computer does not get wiped clean. I know a number of us keep everything on OneDrive, so in theory, it would be located there. But I will tell you, just from my own personal experience, that sometimes I think I'm saving it to OneDrive, but I'm really saving it to my computer. And the end result of that is that we lose stuff, and then we have to face some serious problems down the road.
What other responsibilities might the contracting officer have if their contractor is under investigation? What if OIG calls them and wants to talk to them? What sort of things should they expect?
That's a good thing. I think sometimes there may be some confusion when OIG calls you, whether you're a contracting officer, a technical specialist, a core. 99% of the time, they are just looking for documentation that you have for your technical expertise, because the agents that are conducting procurement fraud investigations certainly, in most cases, are not procurement specialists, and so they don't have the knowledge to, and even if they do have some knowledge, they still need to talk to whoever are the acquisition personnel who are dealing with a particular contractor that may be under investigation.
Terrific, thank you.
Oh, and let me add one other point that if you are aware of an investigation, a key thing to remember is to keep that information close hold. And the reason is we do not ever want to allow the contractor to find out about an investigation from one of us. That's a big problem that could seriously compromise OIG's investigation or blow it all up, or blow up any kind of a prosecution if a contractor who's engaging in fraud finds out before OIG or Department of Justice is ready to notify them, because a contractor engaging in fraud may try to destroy evidence of the fraud. And of course, if it turns out we were the ones who told the contractor about it, obviously it's going to put us in a very tough spot, or put you in a very tough spot that you just don't want to put yourself in. So what I'm saying, I guess, is that investigate, if there's an investigation going on, and even if it's a juicy investigation with lots of interesting details, occasionally we have those. They're not always the dry acquisition issues we might think they would be about. And you want to share it with your lunch buddies, please don't. Keep it close hold. Only share it with other government personnel who have a need to know, your supervisor or a colleague that's working closely with the agent or with the company, but make sure they also know that it is not to be, that information is not to be disclosed further without checking with the Office of Counsel, with AIP specifically, or your AIP counsel at your particular center, or with OIG, so we don't take any actions that could compromise an investigation.
That's some wonderful advice, Bob. Thank you. So remember, if you are dealing with a contractor that is under investigation, retain and preserve your documentation, cooperate with OIG, and make sure that you keep information about the investigation close hold.
Yep, and I'll mention one frustration I get from some NASA personnel is that some of these cases go on for years and years and years. I mean, 7, 8, sometimes 12 years or so. And, so it's a very long time. I've had NASA personnel that will reach out to me every 3 to 6 months to say, is the case over now? Can I throw out these old documents? Well, certainly feel free to reach out to us, not too much, but on a semi-regular basis, and we can let you know once all remedies have been pursued and there is no further need to keep the documents, if you need to disposition those documents in accordance with agency policy.
Thank you, Bob. So preserve your documents, cooperate with OIG, keep everything close hold, and have patience. We'll see you again next time on Between Two Fars. Video. There we go. Bob, we're recording. It's you and me, Bob. Recording Between Two Fars.
This is my big breakout moment. I hope the lighting's good. I did screw up at
No,
please edit that part out.
Alright, we'll let that warm up there, and it will look very professional. Our 1980s newscaster look. We got this. You don't even, we're good. There you go. Ready?
Yeah, so we'll do one more.
We got it.